Good morning. Good morning, people. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell as you come in here. Let's talk about Joey Crack. What up? Pro, what's good? Super, I'm in your city. What's good, G? Shit, been waiting on you. Y'all know I can't keep going live without getting some original content. So I've been conducting some interviews, man. He said Gully jumping on Joe early. I see a lot of y'all upset. I hate that Joe is doing this. I see that a lot of y'all are upset. City of brotherly love. Y'all see that fight? Y'all see how they was acting up at Gilly and Wallow fight? Niggas ain't got no sense. Good morning. Math was letting Joe double dribble. Math is the host, and when you conducting an interview, you kind of like want to let your reciprocal talk. But I don't think Math is in the position to be saying, or he don't have the conscious attitude to step to that business like that. Like, yo, you need to be cool, shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the people that I believe that he was referring to when he said broke niggas, they not broke. Tariq Nasheed ain't broke. Lord Jamar ain't broke either and shit. He said Mav didn't check Joe for disrespecting Lord Jamar. Mav not built like that, man. Y'all expecting too much for him. You remember this, right? Before his show, Mav wasn't like no top tier battle rapper or no top tier talent or nothing like that. The nigga known for throwing punches at niggas at battle raps and shit. He was no fly guy. He wasn't amongst the creme de la creme class of battle rappers and shit. And as far as him being conscious or having any, I don't know, background and being pro-black or anything like that, I don't think he has that and shit. So you can't expect that from him. You know what I mean? He more than likely was just happy to have Fat Joe back on his platform. You got it? He said math is not FBA. When you speaking of, they gave it a term, FBA, but when a person says FBA, Foundational Black Americans, that's a more politically correct way of saying niggas. You know what I mean? The nigga table. That's what FBA stands for. The nigga table. Now you see why Tupac left New York City. Just punch him in his mouth, man. Like, if people feel offended by what he said, motherfucker need to slide him and shit. That's it. He probably ain't been punched in his mouth. At the end of the day, Fat Joe just a fat nigga with titties, man. That's it. If you take the chains off of him and shit, that nigga body look like a sad face. It's a fat nigga. He probably got diabetes and a bunch of other shit. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. You cannot be I don't think that guys with titties got a bunch of confidence and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Fat Joe was getting no bunch of pussy or nothing like that before he became a rapper. He's a fat motherfucker and shit. Often depicted on camera with his ass out. You know what I'm saying? Like fat people shit. When he get up out of a chair and shit. That nigga ass be showing his shit. His clothes don't fit him right. That's who he is. So, you know, the shit that he said, he a fat nigga, man. Like, what the fuck? So y'all might be, you know, giving him too much credit and shit. You know what I mean? Pun and Joe is not the same. I think the insulting part is that he comes from digging in the crates, and those is the niggas that need to be stepping to him and checking him and correcting him, and you know, based on the backlash that has happened from this, we'll see if he decides to apologize to niggas, to the cool table and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we the ones that made him important. Black people made him important. Black people are the ones that he talking about, the FBAs. We the ones that made him relevant or made him cool and shit. You dig? No disrespect to the Ricans, but if they was as instrumental in the creation of the art form, why has there not been anyone since Pun putting on for the real? I ain't all the way get what you're saying, but me personally, I don't like that the topic has created a divide between blacks and Puerto Ricans and shit. But I will say this, wherever you see it being discussed at, you see a bunch of ugly shit being said by Puerto Ricans and shit, you know what I mean? And we gotta kill this whole, whenever people speak in Lord Jamar's name, they try to demoralize or minimize his contributions. Let me correct y'all, for y'all who don't know. Lord Jamar is from Brand Nubian. Brand Nubian is more important, more official, more legendary than Fat Joe and the Terror Squad. They are. I'm just being for real. Brand Nubian is more legendary, the prestige, according to the FBAs, us, niggas. There's no comparison. People need to get up off that. Like when you saying little fly shit about Lord Jamar, we know that you not one of us or you didn't grow up amongst us and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a no-no. And when people get to, you know, trying to say little slick shit about him rapping wise, Lord Jamar always held his own on those tracks and shit. In 1992, Grand Puba decided to leave Brand Nubian briefly, and it was on Sadat X and Lord Jamar to represent, and they came out with a banger. It's called Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down. Whenever Lord Jamar wasn't rapping, Lord Jamar was instrumental in the production side of Brand Nubian. When people say shit about Lord Jamar, oh, he's not, he the weakest link out of Brand Nubian. That don't mean he's insignificant. Just because Styles and Jadakiss probably are better than Sheik Luch, that don't mean he's insignificant. It's the same scenario when you try to minimize Lord Jamar's accomplishments and his relevance. It's the same shit. Now, Sheik Luch was often on the administrative side of things for D-Block. He was often on the production side of things in D-Block. So when you say Styles and Jada is better than Sheik Luch, without Sheik Luch, they're not a group. You dig? Lord Jamar found Dead Prez. Correct. He also found the Spooks, formerly known as Opioid Era. That's how I got down with them and shit. He found Stove God Cooks. Ain't nobody know what Gotta Flow Joe was. Me personally, I didn't become a fan of Fat Joe until the Don Cartagena album with John Blaze and all of that shit. The shit that he had prior to that, it was East Coast lukewarm. It probably wasn't gonna go like national or nothing like that back then. Anyway, Fat Joe found Pun, checkmate. Nobody's here to minimize or dismiss Fat Joe and Big Pun. When you come here and say shit like that, we know that you a fucking racist. This ain't no black thing. We not here dissing nobody. We telling you the truth. We settling the score right now. So when you come in here and you get to talking about Fat Joe found Big Pun, he didn't do nothing but found a Puerto Rican, another Puerto Rican who was skilled at executing black culture. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Now y'all find that nigga that said that shit so I can kick his racist ass about my chat. Find him. His name was Ali Mo or some shit like that. Find Ali Mo. Here you go. All right, yeah. Get the fuck out my chat, bitch ass nigga. Get to stepping. I'm the one who took Fat Joe to court over the pun catalog. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. He said you bugging. Fat Joe has some hits. I just said that the Don Cartagena Fat Joe song is John Blaze. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody's here is dissing Fat Joe. We checking this business about what he said about black folks. You gotta watch your mouth. When you was talking about FBAs and he said these broke niggas, the people that he's referring to, they not broke. They not broke. Tariq Nasheed, he's not broke. He's successful. Lord Jamar, he's not broke. He's successful. He's not only successful, he's legendary and shit. So, you know what I mean? It didn't apply. That was something ugly that came from his spirit and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And y'all need to chill with getting aggressive with niggas. This is my problem with Blue Boy. This is why I didn't fuck with that bitch ass nigga. Y'all tried that with me when I was stepping to that business about Blue Boy running his fucking mouth on Vlad TV about Larry Davis. Y'all need to chill the fuck out with that shit, yo. For real. Y'all can't whoop no nigga. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gonna just jump on no nigga or nothing like that, man. Like, it don't even go like that. I don't know if there's some shit that happens in the Northeast and shit like that, some New York shit, but y'all need to pipe down with that shit. You're not gonna kick no nigga ass or nothing like that. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Something that Lord Jamar said hurts his soul, and that's why he talking crazy. It was this. They feel that Puerto Ricans was in hip hop in its infancy stages. I agreed. I thought that was the truth, but the truth was that it's been around before it had a name. Before we knew Cool Herc and shit like that. Black people been rapping. James Brown was rapping. Dolomite was rapping. Black people been rapping. You dig what I'm saying? So, he said Joe certified in New York City. Y'all keep going back to that. He still need his fucking face slapped. The fuck? When you certified, and just for that, you know, that certification comment, you don't need no motherfucking protection and shit. You don't need no motherfucking bodyguards and shit like that. Fat Joe ain't kicking no nigga ass. You dig? All that aggressive, slick shit that he was talking. He not... Y'all be putting us in situations where we gotta, you know, step to the business and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This is a fat nigga with titties that we talking about. Fat niggas with titties don't be having that type of bravado and shit. They don't. They don't. That what makes him feel that he could speak like that is because he has money and some jewelry. You dig? But you a fat nigga with titties and shit. We seen what you look. Take your shirt off and say that same shit. You wouldn't even feel comfortable saying that because out the window goes your confidence, pimp. Straight up. Nigerians breakdancing in Africa in the 40s. Hip hop is not a race culture, it's New York City culture. That's something that's false too. That's false. I'm glad you said that because Pete Rock said some slick shit about if you're not from New York, you shouldn't be speaking on it. Hip hop didn't fucking start in New York. It didn't. It became popular and dominated by people from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? This is the truth. But that's not what's real. Hip hop and rapping and shit like that, before it had a name, was being practiced all over the United States by the cool niggas. The cool niggas in Watts. You dig? The cool niggas in Fifth Ward, Texas. The cool niggas in Miami. The cool niggas in Chicago. Them pimping ass niggas in the Midwest and Chicago and shit. You know what I'm saying? Iceberg Slim, Donald Goins. These are all forms of hip hop. That's why we gravitated towards that shit. It did not start in New York City. Niggas keep saying that shit. Y'all be bugging with that shit. My man said that's why us DC dudes hate New York City Bammers. That's why people be feeling some type of way and shit. That's the truth and shit. Willie D said on a song a long time ago, he said something like, I can't remember the line and shit. He just said, let the ego shit in or something like that. But he said, you New York bias. I'm not from New York, Victor. I believe you Puerto Rican. You just came in here and said that dumb shit. He said, Zip Little gonna say New York. The thing that makes me and Zip with the Drips content and relationship dynamic is called duality. He has his opinion and his perspective, and I have mine. And when we get together, we deliver something similar to what Cisco and Ebert does and shit. You dig? Gully, any advice on dropping 60 pounds most efficiently with diet and exercise? Fitness is not my expertise. I'm man enough to seek help in my weak areas. Appreciate your super chat. Stop eating meat. When I say meat, chicken, beef, and pork. Red meat is as detrimental as pork. People need to understand this and shit. Like think about when you go to the grocery store and you go grocery shopping. What's the heaviest thing in your bag? The meat. That heavy shit, it goes into your body and it becomes undigested and it just sits in your fucking body, creating fat, cancer, high blood pressure, and a bunch of other shit. So eliminate that first. When you go to the gym, there's a machine called the elliptical. You'll see everybody on it. It look like you skiing and shit. That's a full body workout. When you get on that joint, man, put some ear pods in your ear and shit and listen to 5 of your favorite songs. Songs are conventionally about 3 minutes apiece. If you could listen to five dope songs that you like, you just did 15 minutes on the elliptical. That'll open up the door for you and implement the 100 push-ups a day. And your shoulders and shit will be all, you see that. That's that 100 push-ups a day and shit. Can you dig it? Eat your first solid meal in the afternoon. I'm hearing people in here kicking that shit, man. Have you ever tried yoga? Yeah, I did. That shit is hard. Anyway, Fat Joe, let me just put this in a nutshell, right? This is Ali Mo. On behalf of my black mother, black wife, and kids, my FDA family, and half of my black ass, I'm offended being called racist. You better watch what the fuck you saying here. If you're black, if you look like me, you're misinformed. So I was checking your ass and shit. You know what I'm saying? And my check, it don't come with no sugar coat. You dig? We wasn't in here dissing Fat Joe or saying that he's not entertaining. He's been successful in hip hop. That means he was accepted by who? Foundational fucking black Americans, the people that he's calling poor and broke and shit like that. And the nerve of him to even say that type of terminology when his career was built on the backs of struggle and shit. When you speaking about the South Bronx, you know what you talking about? You talking about broken glass everywhere, way before you was rapping. God damn it. You dig? The message. The most one of the most perfect hip hop songs ever executed. Rapping about the struggle. You dig? So yeah, can't take the noise. Got no money to move out. Guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back. That's where hip hop come from. By foundational black Americans and shit. So just watch your mouth, my nigga. Watch your mouth. And the main motherfuckers who need to be stepping him and checking him is the niggas who have equal relevance and star power and shit. Like a motherfucker like Ghostface need to check him. Motherfucker like Ghostface need to check him. Like, yo, you gotta watch your mouth, man. Like, we don't need niggas behind closed doors talking about, yo, you know you my brother, or yo, you know how Fat Joe say this a lot, and that's my brother. He say that a lot. We don't need niggas to be behind closed doors sugarcoating shit. Watch how you offended my people, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, all right. You showed me love. You've been a great friend to me, but you offended my people and shit. You dig? So I have a relationship with you. I gotta bring you up to speed on what the fuck you doing. My people are offended about what the fuck you said. You dig? That's how that got to go down and shit. Rock Ness Monster went in on Joe. He just need to understand what the fuck, man. Like, yeah, Chuck D, like people like that. Like people that, you know, need to check him and just let him know, man. Just watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth. That's it. Joe did time for tax evasion. Imagine our grandparents hearing a different race saying the N-word. When Fat Joe say nigga, I don't think he has no racial connection to that and shit. I think he's been around black folks long enough that I've seen Puerto Ricans call each other nigga, like that. It's when you hear that word coming from certain people, you know whether they meant it in a racist light. Dig? I don't think that was I don't think that's what this is and shit. But the people that he was referring to, we know who the fuck you talking about. You talking about Tariq Nasheed and Lord Jamar and shit. They had a problem with a documentary coming out called Mic Check. Did nobody have no problem with that? But certain Puerto Ricans and shit. And at the end of the day, it was nothing but Tariq Nasheed's recollection and investigative journalism on the art form. That's all it was. A Puerto Rican nigga sent out a cease and desist to stop it from coming. They using my pictures if you down with this, if you a part of this shit, what the fuck is the problem with people using some of the pictures that you took of the art form to tell a story and shit? You mad that this story says that this was started by, why do y'all have a problem with niggas having something? Niggas don't have a lot. Niggas can't claim a lot. A lot of niggas didn't get credit for the things that they invented dating back to the light bulb. Let me tell you something, right? Which one of them, is Ben Franklin the guy that they say created light? Help me out. I'm teaching a lesson right now. Was that Benjamin Franklin? Was that Benjamin Franklin? Hold on, I got him. Thomas Edison. All right, boom. They say that Thomas Edison is the one who created the light bulb or founded electricity or something of that nature, right? I got a book about cotton because I sell the PA knits that's made out of cotton. Cotton is a flower that has a terrible stigma attached to it because of slavery. But cotton comes in like 5 different colors. Yellow, blue, there's blue cotton. I think there's green cotton. It comes in a lot of different colors. And while I was doing my studies on cotton, I found out that our US currency was cotton based, and the filament from the light bulb, the original filament from the light bulb was made out of cotton. When I learned that, I knew right away that Thomas Edison didn't create the fucking light bulb. The light bulb and the filament that was used to create a light bulb, the cotton filament, that's some shit that come out of a goddamn slave plantation. That was a nigga in the dark trying to feed his fucking family. Then what the fuck? This shit is a candle. This is light. This cotton shit, this is light. You dig what I'm saying? And they in here saying that it was a gentleman by the name of Lewis Latimer. You dig? Eureka! A nigga found that out, but Thomas Edison is the one who's credited for its discovery. And people get lost. The originators, the curators, they get lost because of people not telling the story right. And 50 years from now, people might lose the storyline. They've tried to tell us that the greatest rapper of all time was Eminem. Motherfucker might believe that in 50 years and forget about Melly Mel and forget about Rakim Allah because they've been telling motherfuckers that it's Eminem, Eminem, Eminem. So people trying to protect the foundational Black Americans, people like Tariq Nasheed, Lord Jamar, are trying to make sure the story is told correctly. This is a creation of niggas. This hip hop, a hibbit. This was created by niggas and niggas alone. Let us have that. Let us have that, man. Like, why do y'all have a problem? There's shit that y'all was credited with creating. You dig? Nobody has tried to rob y'all of that. Math Hoffa said the transatlantic slave trade was a choice by Black people. I never watched another episode. You shouldn't look to somebody like Math Hoffa for any form of knowledge. Did he ever strike you as being intelligent or cultured? This is a nigga that was punching Black men in the face on the at battle rap events and shit. Did that strike you as of any like solidarity or? This is a nigga who ain't got no control of himself. So for you to rely on somebody like that for any recollection of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you're bugging and shit. His name is Math. That don't mean he know any. Straight up. He said, no, he was punching on kids. Correct. He said, the way Math dress is so stupid, you can't trust him. I don't respect niggas that wake up one day and decide they want to start wearing furs and shit. That ain't, furs is some culture shit. Straight up. Loaded Lux is who Math thinks he is. Good morning, everybody. It's almost 900 people here. We just in here building and shit, man. Like, if you can't come to the cipher and build, you're displaying that you have no self-control and you're not civilized and shit. When you see Crazy Legs say that he want to box Lord Jamar and shit, he just showing that he couldn't get his point across. Being civilized and shit. You mean you can't articulate your point without feeling that you want to box a motherfucker and shit? And it just don't make any sense. It don't. Vladdy Daddy, I'm kicking you out of my chat, goofball. What's your problem with math? I don't have a problem with math, but I never liked bullies and shit. I don't know. I don't think math is a bully. I just didn't like some of the shit that he was doing. Sirius Jones is my man and shit, number one. I just didn't like that shit that he was doing and shit. I didn't. So Math the type to say, no violence, we are supposed to be brothers, then turn around and sucker punch you. Gilly had a boxing event recently. Yeah. Shout out to Philly. That's Philly out there and shit. Shout out to the city and shit. Shout out to Low Murder Official. Been working that thing right there and shit. I've been hearing about that event. It was in Delaware and shit, but they got the acting a fool out there and shit. They got the acting a fool out there. You gotta proceed with caution when you go into Philly, Philly-based events and shit. Like, it could go left, man. Philly's a different city, yo. He said Gilly was going crazy. He put on an event, man. Had some entertainment to people from Philadelphia and the surrounding areas and shit, and they got to acting up. When you do that, it's harder to secure events for future for future productions you want to put on. It's hard to secure the event centers and the venues and shit. Like, they get to saying, nah, we not fucking with y'all and shit. Like, they might not be fucking with them no more about that shit. They was busting at the cops or some shit like that. They took that Philly shit out there to Delaware. Straight up. I think Gilly should have hired cops for security like the pros do. He said, yep, very different. That's why I visit my fam once a year, and then I'm back down south to live. I get it. Good morning, everybody. I appreciate y'all coming through. People are upset about the shit that Fat Joe said. Motherfucker probably need to punch him in his mouth, man. Like, some niggas ain't been punched in their fucking mouth, man. Like, he run around with security and shit like that. You know what I mean? Whenever he telling a story, it's some aggressive shit. And he talking about, we had this person with us, or we this and that. He be talking about having a bunch of, security with him and shit, but he don't pose no threat on nobody. He's a fat nigga and shit. Salute Gully, first time super chatting, had to show some support and respect. Thank you. First mistake Gilly made was having it in Wilmington, Delaware. We don't have a lot of major events, especially involving hip hop, because niggas in Delaware is always wilding out. The transatlantic slave trade never happened. We didn't come over here on boats. We were already here in what they call North Central and South America. Russell L., I think I agree with your account of how the story unfolded. A lot of people's understanding of slavery and what happened to us comes from the United States education system, where we were educated by white folks. That's them telling us what happened, and that's most people's understanding of it. Or the movie Roots, you dig? So, you got to seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave, man. Like, anything valuable is covered up. So you got to dig for the truth. You do. And when you watch the movie Roots, you see at the beginning of the movie, you see a white man show up with a couple of people, and they got whips and nets and shit like that, and they captured a bunch of niggas and put them on a boat and brought them over here. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense if you think about it. If you see all the radical shit that be going on in Africa and shit, man, you're not going over there putting them niggas on boats. Them niggas be over there living with lions and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say in the them niggas be over there in the jungle, man, with all type of wild animals and shit like that, man. If that ain't a motherfucker survivalist or motherfucker fit to
deal with anything physical. I don't know what it is. It's just not possible. It's not, if you think about it, it's not possible. Philly with the camera, I know you working on, in Philly with the camera, I know you working on a classic project. Nah, man, just getting y'all some original content, man. I've always told y'all, my platform, hip hop, sports, and fashion, I was never intended to be a big part of this show. You know what I'm saying? The way y'all see me on live streams and shit, that was never, ever my intentions. I never felt that I would have to come from behind the camera. I enjoy editing. I enjoy working with cameras and shit like that. The live stream made it to where I interjected myself, but I never wanted to be on here more than I had an MC or a published author or NBA player or something like that and shit. You know what I mean? Buster saying black people don't have any culture but claim any god body. Zip with the drip said, so you feel that you learned them 5% lessons in Jamaica? The 5% nation of gods and earths is black American culture. It is. It is. Those involved, the Nation of Islam is from America and shit. The father, Clarence 13X, is from America and shit. It's black American culture. What do you mean we don't have any culture and shit? Africa doesn't have any jungles. You sound crazy as a motherfucker, man. So when we capture an enemy from another tribe, we sold them to Arabs. If any type of slavery went down, it was 100% niggas involved with it, with selling niggas to other niggas and shit like that. Yeah, I agree with that. Fucking right. You're not just gonna show up to nobody's country and shit, hop out and get to capture the motherfuckers. You needed some niggas with you to execute that. There's no culture in the USA without niggas. The whole Congo is a jungle, goofy. Johnny Smith, good morning to you, man. So yeah, he said they call it history, aka his story. Russell L, man, talk that shit, man. I appreciate you. And this is something that I have to interject into this conversation. Black people don't got nothing against Puerto Ricans. I got Puerto Rican kids. I love Ricans. Black people don't have no animosity against these outside races and shit. They be having a little slick shit to say about niggas. Black people don't be thinking about y'all, man. Like, black people don't got nothing against no Puerto Ricans at all. Like, for real. If black people has any animosity with anyone, it's retaliatory. It's they did this. Like, it's if I said something out of the way that one of my white friends would misinterpret, I would have to tell them why, and I would tell them, my nigga, my character and attitude was shaped by the tragedies, the injustices that happened to my people. I got love for you. I grew up with you. I played sports with you all my life. You my man. I got love for you, even though you white. You dig? But it's some shit that was committed against my people, you dig, that might require me or might trigger me to say certain things. You dig? He said, my wife is Rican. Lord Jamar did a live stream, and he better chill. He kept saying crackers. Jamar, you better stop doing that shit, man. Like, I don't know what got into him or what upset him. I don't know. But he just kept saying crackers online. And he kept saying it on live, man. Right? But sometimes that will come out. Sometimes that will come out of a black person's mouth. And it's not no, we not racist. It's what the fuck y'all did to us, man. It's Dylan Roof. It's the George Floyd knee on the neck. It's the 16th Street Baptist Church. It's all this type of shit. And who did it? Crackers. So that's where it come from. You dig? Straight out, straight like that. Straight like that. Oh, it's about let me just add this. It's for the shit that was said by Hulk Hogan. It's for the shit that was said by Stone Cold Steve Austin. These are people who black folks grew up being fans of, supportive of. You dig? And to find out that you feel this way, you got some fucking nerve. And it just makes a motherfucker say, well, he's a cracker. You know how they are. You dig? So there that go. There that go. I remember in high school them saying me not black, now we make it cool, now here they come. There's I've seen that. I've seen that, but if you're a Puerto Rican, there's nothing wrong with you saying, yo, I'm not black. I'm Puerto Rican. I don't see nothing wrong with that. But pay attention to the way you say it. You dig? Pay attention to the way they say it. Because someone takes pride in their culture don't mean that they're dissing ours and shit. You just gotta pay attention to the energies behind it. Straight up. He said, don't forget about what Ric Flair. Them wrestlers said, a lot of them dudes. I found out that Andre the Giant used to be saying nigga this and all of that. Like I liked it, Andre the Giant. I was disappointed and shit. Don't forget about Triple H. I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised by anybody that you saying this shit. Us Puerto Ricans have African in our Spanish and culture. I'm not black. I have black in my blood. Albert Gomez, thank you for your input. Us Puerto Ricans have black in us. Thank you for your input. We want to eliminate the division. We want to eliminate the division. If a person, this is what confuses me about Fat Joe. They have videos of Fat Joe saying that Puerto Ricans are black. Ain't there a video of him saying that? There's a video of Fat Joe. I think he might have said it on Math Hoffa. There's a video of Fat Joe saying that Puerto Ricans are black. Didn't he say that? Didn't he say that? Didn't he say that? He said it, right? So if he say Puerto Ricans are black, he shouldn't have no problem with black Americans saying we created hip hop. Because if he's saying Puerto Ricans are black, that means all of us did it. That means if you one of us, if you saying that you black, you shouldn't have no problem with foundational black Americans saying that they created this art form. You dig what I'm saying? And shout out to Curtis Schoon. Curtis Schoon refers to hip hop as an art form. And I agree with him, right? Because culture doesn't change. Hip hop has changed many times. You had auto-tunes, you had drill music, you had a whole bunch of shit that happened through the course of the first 50 years of the art form. So I don't think that it should be referred to as a culture. I think people need to stop referring to it as hip hop culture. You did culture and customs don't really change and shit. You dig what I'm saying? This is something that has been misinterpreted. Straight up. So let's call it what it is. It's an art form. He said you said a lot with that one. Shout out to Curtis Schoon, man. Curtis Schoon is one of the most brilliant black men I've ever conversed with. He pulled me up on that. Steel sharpens steel. You know what I'm saying? So I just came here and I shared it with y'all. Hit the like button. He said Star been saying that for years too. Shout out to Star, man. Them guys are older than me, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a student. Ain't nothing wrong with being a student. Why can't Fat Joe just stay humble in regards to the benefits he received from our art form and just continue to sell hair products and sit back in Miami? I think the shit that he said, I think he was asked a question. I think those were his rebuttals and shit. Yeah. I'll say it, Fat Joe music is whack. I disagree with you. I heard that his new joint is alright. I heard Snoop Dogg's new joint ain't no good. And I heard Fat Joe new joint is hot. If it's hot, we fuck with it. Yeah. Is it any good? I think I heard one song. Benjamin Davis says Snoop shit fire. I heard Snoop shit ain't no good, man. I heard Dre drop the ball. He said that's a lie. Snoop album is dope. I gotta check it out for myself. Black means mixed, purebred of African diaspora, coming. You fucked that up, man. Question though, I'm hearing that Jamaicans started hip hop. Is there any truth to that? Jamaicans is black. Just to answer your question in a nutshell, Jamaicans is black, but and they black as a motherfucker. And when you hear people say that, they talking about Kool Herc, who was a Jamaican. And he was credited with perfecting the break beat. But niggas was rapping way before that, man. James Brown was rapping. He said it on a song. He did. Jamaican is a nationality. Rudy Ray Moore was rapping, correct. Your Packers ain't looking too bad. Yeah, we've been getting busy. Who won that game out of the Chargers in Denver yesterday? I like Denver. I like the Chargers running offense. The Chargers got a big white boy, he number 44. This motherfucker play on a defensive line. He play on special teams. And they handed him the rock. And they giving him the rock. He number 44, he 300 pounds. They running offense is nice. Cool. Oh, the Chargers won? I thought the Chargers was going to win that game, man, because they running offense is nice, man. They was doing some shit. They was running like 3 different backs, plus this white fullback. He number 44, man. This white boy was a bad motherfucker, man. He 300 pounds. 300-pound fullback. FBA created hip-hop to add a footnote to that terminology. I think they said not Tariq Nasheed, but Dr. Claude Anderson. Shout out to him. He one of the elders. He's the one that brought that term to the table, foundational black Americans. Dr. Claude Anderson. It ain't nothing but him saying that that's just another term for the cool table and shit. That's us. Niggas, it's a scientifically correct word of saying niggas. Excuse me. Claude Anderson, Group Economics. I got that knowledge from Lord Jamar when I interviewed him. Yeah. People be saying, be trying to minimize Lord Jamar. Man, Lord Jamar was on Punk's Ship Up to get beat down. Didn't y'all hear him on Get Your Back Up Off the Wall? That brand Nubian album that came out in '98? It's like a second coming of Christ. You better run from your life. It's like a gun up against a knife. You could never win. Lord Jamar the Imperial, microphone serial killer, urban gorilla. Y'all didn't hear Jamar on that shit? He killed that shit. Killed that shit. Go listen to that. Back Up Off the Wall by Brand Nubian. Bearfield, I appreciate your super chat. Them saying Jamaica started hip hop, then why didn't we know they were Jamaican? Jamaicans come here and assimilate into black culture, and we got to find out later that they Jamaican. I don't know how to rebuttal that, man. Thank you for your super chat. Jamar has a right to opinion. He's a legend. He was a DJ first. Oh, something the Lord Jamar said in regards to Fat Joe. He said, this is how out of touch with reality you are with our art form. I think Jamar referred to it as a culture. But he said the fact that you slick talking me shows that you're out of touch. Well, what the fuck is going on? I thought that was a great statement. You dig? Because if you a part of the fabric of this shit, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? All right. Can y'all hear me? All right, yeah. Olive Appetite said, nah, Jamar be kind of hating on people that's bigger than him, such as Eminem. Eminem ain't no fucking bigger than Lord Jamar, man. What the fuck is you talking about? Lord Jamar is from Brand Nubian. What the fuck is you talking about? What are you talking about? When you say you need to be brought up on this information by a foundational black American, you dig? You have to, somebody got to pull your coat. I represent that body of people. Somebody need to tell you this. He's from fucking Brand Nubian. It's like you trying to diss Public Enemy or X-Clan or Poor Righteous Teachers or some shit. There's some people that's on a pedestal. They're going to remain there forever. The fuck is you talking about? And this is what Lord Jamar meant by, this is how out of touch with reality you are when it comes to this art form. He might have called it a culture. This is how out of touch you are when you try to come for me. He's in a group with Sadat X and Grand Puba. What the fuck are you talking about? You lost. You dig? And anybody to try to challenge that is out of touch. You dig? Fat Joe, you bugging. You bugging. You trying to box with God. That's Lord Jamar from Brand Nubian. My nigga, you bugging. We're never gonna take you over him. It's not no color shit. They're one of the pioneers, my nigga. You dig? Brand Nubian came out in probably the mid to late 80s. You dig? But they was during the golden era. They got music that's timeless. They got music that's timeless. He said, bro, Eminem been around since the 90s. We don't fucking listen to that shit. Is that what you want? Is that what you wanted? We don't fucking listen to that shit. We don't listen to that shit. It don't got no soul. Didn't you hear Rakim? I know you got soul. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be in here. What the fuck? He ain't got no goddamn soul, man. We don't listen to that shit. Motherfuckers need to tell y'all that. We don't listen to that shit. The fuck? Nobody likes that shit. Nobody likes that shit. Why? My name is what? Do you want to see me stick 9-inch nails through one of my eyelids? That's not thorough. That's not cool. We don't like that shit. That's not what this is. The fuck? We don't be dissing that nigga. We be telling the truth. That shit whack. The fuck? Motherfuckers be acting like we be dissing him. We don't even consider him. We don't consider Eminem. Don't nobody bring him up. Y'all be trying to interject that bullshit. We don't like that shit. We like Guru. We like Gangstar. We like Brand Nubian. The fuck is wrong with y'all? We like Big Daddy Kane. We like Poor Righteous Teachers. We like NWA. We like the Ghetto Boys. We don't like that bullshit. The fuck? Y'all be trying to interject him. He don't fit, man. And so you know that it's not racist. We don't like that shit. We like MC Search. We like Third Base. Step into the AM. We like that shit. The Gas Face. We like that shit. You dig? We don't like Eminem. We like MC Search. You got it? So y'all can remove the whole racist stance on it. We don't like that shit. Period. God damn. He said, finally, somebody said, we've been saying it, man. Like, Rod a Rugged Band, Mr. Eon. We got some white rappers that we like. We just don't like him. What the fuck? What the fuck? He said 50 Cent said that Eminem is the best. He got a motive for saying that shit, yo. He has a motive. That's his opinion. The fuck? He don't get played at the cookout. Nah, he don't. He don't. So, he said, I love Eminem, but I don't bump that shit in the car. Nobody bumps that shit, man. Millie's is nice. We like Paul Wall. There's something that we like. The fuck, man? Preach, Gully. It's Sunday, so it's so appropriate. Yeah, we having church. This is church. This is church. We having some church this morning. Word. 50 Cent is loyal to a fault. You can't blame him. He helped him get in the position that he's in. He did. He did. Ambassador Rick, peace. Peace to the spooks. Man, I'm in here teaching, man. They got the story fucked up, man. And I want to put a footnote on it that we're not anti-Fat Joe. We just don't, people don't appreciate what he said and the way that he said it. The whole them broke niggas shit. Ain't nobody broke, man. You can have all the money in the world and be lacking knowledge. That mean you broke. There's niggas that got money that's broke spiritually, intellectually. You dig? If you're lacking in those departments, then you the fuck broke. My nigga, the fuck you can't call Lord Jamar broke and he got knowledge of self? What the fuck is you talking about? You tripping. Street Push TV, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beastie Boys over Eminem. Beastie Boys is in Crush Groove, man. They got a legendary song called Paul Revere that we could... If you get a neck snap, you in. Eminem don't get no neck snaps, man. He don't get no... His shit don't... You don't get that. You don't. For real. Jesse said, I will pick M over Jamar, though. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong for that. That's your personal preference. That's your personal preference. Lord Jamar isn't a solo artist. Lord Jamar, you know what he told me one day? He said, man, the problem with my situation is this. I'm in a group with two goddamn dinosaurs. You dig? I gotta try to stand out amongst two goddamn Tyrannosaurus Rex type niggas. That's Grand Pooba Maxwell and Sadat X. You dig? That's his biggest obstacle. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stand out amongst he got not one, but two of the greatest in one group. You dig? That's a lot of motherfucking baggage to carry. You dig? He got whenever he go into the booth, he got a death defying feat in front of him. You know how many niggas died trying to rap after Sadat X? You know what I'm saying? Do you know the types of niggas who had to get on songs with him? Most Def, Common. Like, you gotta be a show enough gorilla fucking around with a nigga like that. To even be able to keep up is a compliment. You know what I'm saying? I got on a song with the nigga and I survived. To be able to say that is official. You dig? Sadat X not only got a incredible voice and delivery, but he got some slick shit that he gonna say. That's, hey baby, your hips is getting big. That's him. That's him. Sadat X style was never duplicated. Exactly, man. The wild cowboy with a lot of style, boy. The one of one Sadat X. You know how he give it up, man. Do y'all need any reference tracks from Sadat? I interviewed him about a song called 1999. Go listen to that shit. Go listen to that shit. You want to hear some shit? That was on Rockets Records and shit. Go listen to that joint. For real. There's no locks without Brand Nubian. Exactly. And there's no locks without Sheik Luch. So when people say that Lord Jamar is the weak link in Brand Nubian, it wouldn't be no group without him. They wouldn't be who they were without him. For real. If Grand Poobah would have never left the group, they might have been a top 5 group. I know that joint that they came out with in 98 is classic. From the start to here I go again. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. That joint classic, yo. It's classic. Lord Jamar produced too. Drew, man, I'm glad I attracted you to this live stream, man. I need your support. They ain't here trying to diss the God. You know what I'm saying? They ain't here trying to diss the God, man. Anybody saying M is bigger than the Lord is just plain ignorant. Misinformed. It's important, man, that you have a platform like Gully TV to give y'all a correct account. You know what I'm saying? Philly, man. Philly, I'm in your city, by the way, and shit. Down here getting some hip hop. Yeah. They just, yeah, man, stop dissing the Lord, man, because he brought a lot to the table. He discovered Dead Prez. Ambassador Rick, I was just talking about y'all and Dead Prez, man. Play this shit back. For real. Joe is the weakest member of DITC and Terror Squad. I like, take a look at my life. You could, that joint by pull up to the curb, pull a desert bird. Fat Joe has had his moments. The Don Cartagena album was flawless. I'm gonna give y'all unbiased account. Dope is dope. And that's why it's a crime for anybody to try to minimize Lord Jamar. To end the conversation, where's the premier non-black rapper pre-1989? He said to end the conversation, where's the premier non-black rapper pre-1989? Was shit, Mike, you probably gonna say Mike D from the Beastie Boys. That's the only person I could think of. I think Third Base might have came out in 1990. Flojo was nice. Big Pun wrote the Don Cartagena album. I don't think there's no way of proving that. Jealous One's Envy is a classic. Jealous One Still Envy is official. Joe got good music, man. He brought some shit to the table and shit. But he was influenced, cultivated, and in the company of foundational black Americans, the DITC crew. Yeah. M can rap, but his topic's about killing his mom. Get the fuck out of here. Fat Joe is a culture vulture, always capping. Pun was Joe's ghostwriter. I don't think Puerto Ricans qualify for being culture vultures. You can't call them culture vultures, man. The New York City Breakers, pardon me, the Rocksteady crew, I think they was all Puerto Rican. You can't, Puerto Ricans don't qualify as culture vultures. They don't. They a part of it. They 100% a part of it. He said, yes, they are. They're not. They're not. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You gotta stop this shit. Stop it, man. You just did. You need to go watch Beat Street, man. Go watch Beat Street. Tripping, man. Big Pun wife just had an interview. She say Pun wrote his shit. Okay. Cuban Link saying Big Pun wrote the whole Don Cartagena album. Cuban might have a motive, but okay. Nobody's fronting on Joe's contribution. He been around hip hop forever. He always been a fly dude. He just is out of line with his comments. I 100% agree with what you just said. I'm going to pin that up. Thank you, Ambassador Rick. I was watching the battle at the Roxy yesterday. Matter of fact, man, that shit is bone chilling, man. When them niggas walk into the Roxy, they hit the B-boy stance. They like, where they at? They over there. Man, them niggas start walking through. Then that the perfect beat come on. Yo! Man, you gotta love that scene, man. They was getting that shit. Looking for the perfect beat. That was the shit. Only Prince Marky B. Only Prince Marky D, maybe. Prince Whipper Whip. There's a Prince Marky D interview on his channel. He said the blue bubble vest with the Pumas with the fat laces. Killing that shit. The subway battle. Yeah, man. So you can't, the Puerto Ricans, man, integral part of this shit, man. Don't do that, yo. Go look at Beat Street, man. Go look at Wild Style. Just so many contributions, man. Some of the greatest graffiti artists and everything. So just stop doing it, man. Like, people need to talk about, how about we explore what we did together? Stop trying to make it a secular topic. Let's talk about what we did together. We made an incredible art form. They contributed. I don't know why that ain't enough for them. They want to say they started it or helped started it. I don't even got no problem with saying it like that. But the elder said it. The elder said it. So, hey, he said B Street came out in 84. I appreciate your super chat. Them niggas was breaking before 84, fam. That was, by the time it made it to film, that was the rest of the world catching up to it to put it on film. Them niggas been b-boying and shit. Them niggas been doing that. KRS-One, like it or not, Puerto Ricans are a part of hip-hop history, period. Yeah, man, nobody should be trying to dispute that at all. And they did their thing, man. Puerto Ricans was on Flashdance, breaking and shit like that. Big movie in the early 80s. Puerto Ricans was there in the beginning but fell off for a big-ass gap. Other than Joe and Pun, who else do they have in the last 20 years? You ever heard of the Beat Nuts? You ever heard of the Beat Nuts? You ever heard of the Beat Nuts? I happen to love that song, Off the Books. Wasn't it all Puerto Ricans on that song? That song, Off the Books, wasn't that an all Puerto Rican MC lineup? Help me out. Off the Books. Wasn't that an all Puerto Rican lineup? That's fire. We appreciate that. We appreciated that. They got off. They had the all white on. They was killing that shit. Killing that shit. So just stop it. Just stop it. Beating us was the shit. Yeah, you get props over here. That was my shit. Ooh, better watch yourself. Yeah. Classic. Mm-hmm. Isn't Fat Joe Cuban? I think he's Puerto Rican and Cuban. Sammy Davis Jr. was breakdancing in the 1940s. He's half Puerto Rican. For the Puerto Ricans that's in this chat, we love y'all. Straight up. And I don't think that there should be any division. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. The division between blacks and Puerto Ricans, that's kind of like some New York shit. For real. I think y'all grew up like that. The rest of the world, well, the rest of the United States, I don't think it's like that. I don't think it's like that. I don't. For real. G Max said rap is ours, black people. Nah, man. Nah, don't do that. It's for everybody, man. A lot of people contributed. It's for everybody. Blacks created it. It's for everybody. It's multicultural and shit. It's a beautiful art form. Everybody is welcome. If you dope, you welcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, words are powerful. People got to be careful of the words that they use when trying to get their point across and shit. There's no division. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is for everybody. Exactly. It's for everybody, man. Don't do that. He said, Gully, you tripping, black and Puerto Rican are one in the hood. We grew up with them our whole life. I did. If that's the case, what was the problem on Rikers Island and shit? What was the problem? What was the problem? What was the problem? Isometrics in the building. Shaheem, is that you? The problem is black people accept everyone into their culture, whereas the others would never do the same for us. I think I gotta agree with you and shit. Black people are very accepting. Yeah. He said, nah, it's not New York shit. I was living in Puerto Rico when I was a kid for a couple months and experienced some overt racism. That's on their island. The ones that grew up here, in the United States around black people, they might not have that. The ones who came here as adults from the island and shit, they might have been raised some other type of way. I found out about the term Moreno from a chick. And I said, what the fuck do that mean? Like, she said it means brown men. I said, so how is that offensive and shit? I am brown. You dig? But I guess some people be saying it and using it as a racist term and shit when they refer to black people as Moreno. I guess some people mean it in a rotten racist way or whatever. They don't want us to have nothing. There's already divisions and conflicts and confusion. I don't agree with you. I think you just have some people that's misinformed and shit. The problem is hip hop is your job. That's the problem. Y'all trying to claim it for money. They think their hair makes them better because they have white boy hair. Not all Puerto Ricans got that type of hair. Some Puerto Ricans, when they let their hair grow, it'll turn into an afro, nappy afro too. Go look at some pictures of Puerto Ricans in the 70s with them big ass naughty afros. Yeah. He said, you talking about Rikers Island, but in prison it's always segregated. It ain't like that in Pennsylvania prisons. I just said that's some New York shit. That's some New York shit. Man, don't you, in Pennsylvania prisons, when them Puerto Rican niggas get to cooking and shit, you walk past their table, they putting something together, and I come out there with my bowl, man. Come out there with my bowl and my spoon. Poppy, man, let me get some of that, man. Throw some of that on. Hit me off with some of that, man, with some crackers, man. They break down and shit. They can come to our table and eat too. It ain't like that, man. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, y'all didn't eat with the Puerto Ricans? Y'all was missing out. Yo, he said Germans is also a racist term. It is. That's some New York shit. Yeah. Man, them Puerto Ricans in Pennsylvania, they almost insist on you take a plate, man. Here, man, come taste this right here. This octopus and shit like that, man. They be getting busy. Give me a little bit of everything except for the pernil, man. You can keep the pernil. I don't want none of that. Everything else, break down. He said, it's more here. I'm going to say it again. You will never understand. I did enough content with guys from the Bronx. Remember, I did the Murder Unit series. I've interviewed Peter Guns. I interviewed Bang Bang Boogie. I interviewed Cuban Link. Gully, who was, I think he was, might have been Big Pun's manager or some shit like that. Puerto Rican guy. I know enough to understand and shit. You dig? He said, come out here with my bowl, it's hilarious. Hell yeah. I had to cuss Don Pacino out. He got a fucked up attitude and shit. He said, in Broadway out in the yard, you saw everybody working out with everybody. Yeah, same way in Pennsylvania. Puerto Rican niggas get big too. Just like niggas. They get big. And yeah, I got my bowl, man. Break down. Dominicans and blacks, we all one. Love is love. Thank you for your super chat. He said, Puerto Ricans, the gangbang let you eat with them. German is definitely New York lingo that even spilled into Connecticut. Anyway, man, this has been one of my longest discussions. I appreciate everybody. I got to get to work. I got some things to do. Super chatters, y'all did y'all thing. How about this? How about we try to interject some healing? Black is love. Let's get on that and try to minimize all the bullshit. Fat Joe was wrong, and if Fat Joe respect black people, he will, apologize for those who he offended. If that's how he felt and was articulating how he felt, that's cool. That's cool. But some people didn't receive what you said well. So maybe you should add some footnotes. Maybe he should add some footnotes to his statement. You dig? So there you go. Unbranded, suck a dick. Get the fuck out my chat. Y'all got it? All right. I'm about to go get in this gym, man. Make sure y'all get them 100 push-ups a day. And, stay on your A+ game, man. I got some dope content coming for y'all, man. Y'all know I don't travel without the tripod and this camera and shit. And good morning, Philadelphia. And good morning, everybody that tuned into my chat, man. Y'all have a wonderful day. All right? Peace.